Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randall Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts.
Hello.
Hi there,
Good evening.
puny dick bastards.
Wow, that's aggressive.
Puny.
Why is it? I do like that word though. Puny.
Such a weird word.
This is episode number 68. We just recorded intros to two other episodes, number 69 and number 70. 69.
Yep, 69 will be Miller McFly.
And Amanda.
70 will be Tom McFeely.
Yep.
And that's just the way it's going to be. Hopefully 71 is Richard Tillman.
Where is that motherfucker?
He's been moving.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're in negotiations now. I just messaged him. He should be, like, he even told us when he got the belt, like, he needed a couple weeks to move.
Mm-hmm.
But he was excited about coming back on, so I'm ready to. He's the next guest. We're not going to have another guest till Richard's on.
Sure, pal.
It's gold. It's recorded. It's documented. That's all it's going to be.
That's okay. You've said a lot of things, babe, that have been recorded, but I believe you. I'm
done
with you.
With that shit.
I'm with you.
There's not another guest till Richard Tillman comes back, defends his belt, and our honor.
I am pumped to talk to Richard again because he was an absolute delight the first time and so much fun. And I can't wait. That's awesome. I guess I've missed the messages. You're the social media messenger, except for I do the Facebook.
Yeah.
Messages because you don't know how to get to them.
No, not for our
podcast. I mean,
I can't get to them.
Because you got to have the separate app for some reason.
And by the way, tonight we are drinking French martinis.
Baby, I took a little tiny sip earlier after you took that silly picture of me. It's really sweet. It's a lot of sweetness. I don't know if I can drink. I mean, let's see.
Yeah, I find it borderline disgusting.
Oh God.
It's kind of like candy that was melted with wax.
And booze.
I don't really even get a huge booze. I know there's a lot.
So what is in this fluffy drink? It looks like beer almost because it's got like a foam head on the top of it. So it's, it's fucking with my head because it almost looks like a Boddington's, you know, like the white Guinness.
No, I don't know any of that. I don't know anything.
I'm telling you, you know how Guinness is dark beer with like that thick foam head at the top. Well, Boddington's is like Guinness's white friend.
Oh. No, this has some shit called like Chambéry or something. It's a raspberry liqueur.
Chambly?
I don't know. It's over there in the round tubular.
Yeah.
And it's got muscle vodka and pineapple juice.
Muscle vodka. We have any? Gotcha.
Yeah.
We had a scotch.
Just enough.
Yeah, I need to order some more. Why didn't you remind me?
You need to order the muscle water.
Is it available?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aaron said it was.
I don't know, baby. That's tough.
Oh, we're going to have to drink it. It's just the way it is. I'm not a fan at all.
What's the name of it again?
A French martini. And I think it's
Sounds
foamy
like
because our shaker is shit and air got to it. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be foamy.
No, in the picture you showed me, I thought it was.
No.
Is it not? Oh, okay. A French martini. It sounds like a sex move. I don't know why. Definitely. I think just because of the French part, anything with French in it just sounds like it has to do with sex to me. I'm just weird. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's leaving a weird taste in my mouth.
It tastes like those horrible candies we talked about at Halloween that were wax and you bit the tip off the Coke bottle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Mary Janes, the orange and black ones.
Drank the juice and maybe chewed on the wax with it.
Yeah, and
That's
everything.
Exactly what this tastes
like. The quote unquote juice in there really just tasted like liquid wax because it had been in that wax bottle.
Yeah, I had high hopes for this, and I'm
I mean, the look of it, just because it looked like Boddington's to me, but it's yeah. Oh, and I've got my Haley's Comet rocks glass that used to be my parents, 1985, 1986. Haley's Comet. What's up?
So we can add French martinis to the list of drinks we hate.
Drinks we're never gonna make again.
Ever again.
Never ever.
I wish I liked a martini or a cool drink.
Why though? I don't know. I like beer. I know what. I do wish I liked a martini or like.
I would like to enjoy scotch or anything cool.
Something cool. Yeah. Margaret always just. I just wish I could be as cool as Margaret. How she just drinks fucking bourbon.
The only thing I can
on
drink
the rocks.
A lot of is vodka and cranberry, and then I just become a monster. I don't think I could even do that anymore because I'm old.
Yeah, we are old.
Like I would just get mad and break my own bones or something.
That's what you get.
That's
what you've been reduced to.
Yeah. I would drink 100 of them, piss and shit myself, and then break all my own bones.
That sounds like a good time.
That's what I think would happen.
Wowzers. So when are we recording our piece for the Almy roast, sir?
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about that on here now?
I don't know.
Have we talked? I feel like it's been forever since we recorded.
There's so much of that stuff where we've gotten to where, like, I've listened to some of our episodes where all we're talking about is other podcasts. It's like no one talks about other listeners. Everybody talks about each other's podcasts.
That's who our bulk of our listeners are.
Yeah, so I don't know. And Wutsky has mentioned this one time before. I remember when he mentioned it, and I was like, that's ridiculous. And now I agree with him 1,000%. One of his old episodes, he was like, man, I don't just want other podcasters. I want listeners, all the listeners.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we were new, and I was like, man, that's fucked up. You don't want the podcasters?
Yeah. No.
Makes total sense. He's absolutely right.
We get it, Wutsky. I love all our friends, though.
I do, too. It has nothing to do with them. But I think that the few listeners that don't would be confused and be like, what the fuck is going on with all this inner circle jargon that I know nothing of?
So, okay, I guess we can take it off air.
No, I mean, it's a roast that we're going to be part of. I'm not saying we don't mention who they are. I mean, they should know Jason Almey's been a guest. Him and his wife, Christina, who is lovely.
And we had so much fun with them. And
they're a great show, and you should listen.
Well, and now we can say on the podcast that they are with child. She was with child when they were here. And we just couldn't say anything, which Randall behaved. I was very proud. He didn't say anything that we had to edit out.
No, and I was attentive to her. I brought her snacks.
I know you were. Yes, you were very sweet.
I know how that is.
You know how to handle a pregnant woman.
Well, you don't want her hungry. I mean, she's got something growing. She needs to eat.
And it's not.
It probably doesn't feel good.
It's not just hungry. It's you go straight to being nauseous when you don't constantly snack on something. So. Super excited for them. It's fucking awesome because they went through some shit to get there, and it's a good, fun, happy time for them. And they just were up in Wutsky went up there.
They went to Jersey.
To Jersey. Well, they live in New Hampshire. It's all a cluster of.
It sounded like it was like a 3-hour drive. I listened to the episode, so yeah, it's like 3 hours.
I haven't listened to it yet.
And they went up to Jersey, and they met Wutsky from #NoOffense, which anyone who listens to this show should listen to them. They know that that's one of our favorite shows. #NoOffense
and
show.
Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Where the episode that they recorded up there was released on Shit Happens When You Party Naked, right?
They all just released it today as like a bonus also.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's a fuck fest. Like if you want the cleanest shit, it's not that, because it's a big group of funny fuckers. But if you like these people and think they're funny, you'll love it.
Who else is there? Who are the other people that are
Simmons and Moore.
Okay, that's it. Where did they record at? They look like they were recording in somebody's basement.
I think they were at a little podcast studio.
Oh, fancy.
And the Plunge. Riley from the Plunge was
Richie
there.
Riches. For some reason, I was like, oh, I bet that's in Riley's mom's basement.
Yeah.
Because he's like 21.
I mean, if you listen to that episode, and I recommend it, I've tweeted it out, you're going to get Almy is, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. I mean, you remember when we had fan questions, Christina had to like hold his mouth closed or he would have answered every one. You know, he's made for this shit.
I love it. He makes it so easy to like
there will be no dead air.
He doesn't pause to think about what he wants to say. He just keeps talking, but it's good. Like it is good. It's funny. Like if I did that, it would just sound like a rambling fucking moron. So, I appreciate what he does. He's fucking good at it, and I need to go listen to that episode.
No, and Simmons and Moore, Adam from them is very similar to Almy. I hadn't listened to a bunch of their stuff till I listened to this.
Okay.
He's a lot like Almy. So you got two of those. Watsky was the host.
Okay.
And I mean, you can only do some. If you got two of those,
it's
almost impossible. And you're all friends.
Watsky was trying to be like the Larry.
Well, he was the moderator. He did a great job, the best you could with those.
He's going to be hosting this roast that we're doing of Jason Almy, which they're all doing it. Most of them are doing it live, I guess. We're going to record whatever piece we do for it and send it in because they're doing it like the night before we leave for Disney, and so that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, it sucks. I mean, we're not like those guys. A lot of them are like almost they want to be comedians or joke writers. We're not that.
No, but we're all in this together, babe. And you.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the expectation where
they should know that we're not going to be.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying it's a lot easier for them to just come out and rip somebody a new ass.
Oh.
And it's not really our style. We're going to give it our
Well, that's
our
what I was
best
going to
old
say.
effort.
They know what they're going to get from us.
Of course they do. I'm telling the listeners.
Oh.
So when they hear it.
Yeah.
We're going to give it the whole college go. I mean, we're going to try it.
Yeah, we're probably going to be the most.
It's just hard for me to fake meanness, but lightheartedly. But luckily, it's Almy. He gives two shit.
Right. He wants it. He asked for it.
He did ask for it. He's quite arrogant. I've never seen anyone ask for their own roast.
Right.
And so he's quite pompous. I like that. Does that word work right there? Pompous?
It does.
Yeah. He's pompous. He also has a Fu Manchu right now.
I don't like it. Almy, fucking shave that shit. I guarantee Christina hates it.
Yeah.
I assume.
You heard it.
Because I feel like we're on the same page. And she's probably like, fuck that shit on your face. Because you had a Fu Manchu for like a minute, and it was funny because you were like, "Oh, it's
for
like
one day.
It's like Hulk Hogan." You like literally we went bowling and you had it, and then by the time we got home, you shaved it.
I hated it.
It wasn't even a full day; it was like a handful of hours. So maybe he did the same thing, or does he still have it?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's up to them to decide.
Well,
I don't know.
We love you guys, and congratulations on the Bidet Almy.
Well, I want to talk about something that we did that maybe some of these rascals haven't done that are listening.
What?
Because they didn't have access. We watched A Star Is Born. It's not out yet.
Oh my god!
Some people probably seen it in the movies, but we watched it.
Well, I mean, we
spent $150.
We spent $20
to buy it on some digital app.
Voodoo.
Which was cool to get to watch a movie that's not out yet.
Because we keep talking about wanting to watch it, and what's funny is that I forgot that Kathy had said it like as a joke at the end of when we were on Cinemondo. Like at the end, she was talking about next time she wants to have us on, like we all do, like mystery date movie, whatever. And then like she was like, it doesn't have to be horror, but make it horror.
I wasn't here for the end.
You weren't here, but like if you listen to it, you would hear that she's like, oh, I want to do A Star Is Born, and I was like, ooh, we want to see that, like because it was before we watched it, and she was like, but I want to watch But I want to do the Robert Redford version. I was like, oh, no. I want to do the Lady Gaga.
I don't think Robert Redford did it. It was Chris Christopherson. Was in the last one.
I don't know. I think I might believe Kathy over you, but...
I mean, you can Google that shit and do a double check right now.
I can. But continue.
Well, I thought it was... great and shitty. It's deserving of every accolade that it gets for Lady Gaga.
She fucking
Bradley
killed it.
Cooper didn't impress me as much as everyone thought. I mean, he was a great director because he directed it, so he gets all that credit.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I think anybody could have played, not anybody, but a good actor could have played the role. I just couldn't get over how much he was trying to talk like Sam Elliott.
Well, the best part was when he called him out for stealing his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hard to do it on the computer. Is that an old one? Oh, no, that's just like a old looking movie cover. I thought it was great. I loved it. I'd never seen any of the other. You said this is the third time they've done this story? But I have never seen any of the previous ones. I know I was like, God, she looks like she could be related to Barbra Streisand. You were like, well, funny you say that. Apparently Barbra Streisand played that character in one of the other two renditions of it, and then Audrey Hepburn was the first one, you said?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in IMDb.
No, it was Judy Garland.
Oh, okay, 1978. There we go. God, the page on here was stupid. Oh, that's Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand.
Yep.
That is hot. The cover of that. Hello. And that looks very similar to Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Like, if you just like glance at the picture, like you see that?
Yeah. I remember it. I've seen it.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I mean, she can sing her fucking face off. Love her voice. And Bradley Cooper can actually sing as well.
Yeah. So tonight I get to get that old dickety suckied because there is no Robert Redford, and you chose.
What was the Aubrey? I was just going. I'm sorry. She's the movie. She's
the horror champion.
Judy Garland. Who was the guy in the one with Judy Garland?
Robert Redford. That was like the 1937 one day. Robert Redford's not. He was born then.
I was just asking.
I don't remember who the leading man was.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I'm just proud that
it's
I
1954, by the way.
So 70 years
Judy
ago.
Garland, James Mason, Jack Carson, Charles Bickford. What? Never heard of any of those people. Sorry. That's super. 1954. Good gracious.
Yeah, it's actually, I just saw, there was actually one in 1937 too. So there's been 4 of them.
I only see 1954, 1976, and then what the Lady Gaga one.
Yep, 1937, the original.
Good God.
See the cowboy?
Wow. Okay. Well, so anybody that's on the fence of wanting to watch it, I say watch it.
Of course, watch it.
I was, of course, crying my eyes out at the end.
Before you jump into the Lady Gaga stuff, I need to finish my real critique.
What?
Because you loved everything about it. I thought the movie was great. Bradley Cooper did a great job. If you watch the version with Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand.
Have you seen that one?
You know what's going on? Yeah, years ago.
Huh.
He dies differently. That's the only thing I'm going to give away.
Oh, good God.
It doesn't tell how, don't mention it, but it's the same in all of them, but different. Bradley Cooper changed it.
Fine. But God, you're the worst. Spoiler.
So, anyway, that's great. Bradley Cooper can sing like a motherfucker. That was surprising.
Yeah.
He's a talented bastard.
Sure. And they went on tour, all the concert scenes. They were on tour with Jamie Johnson.
One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But what's key to me is Lady Gaga surprisingly was excellent. Not surprisingly, everybody knows she's talented, but made down like she was in this movie. I wouldn't say she's not a knockout. She's just so interesting that her face is captive. Like you watch her the whole time. She's not like, if anyone asks me, is Lady Gaga hot? I'd say, I don't know, she's kind of, but you can't stop looking at her though, is what I'm saying. So
Absolutely.
She's got a very captivating presence, especially in this movie.
I love her, like the made down. Like I think she looks
way better.
Yes, I think she looks better. Like the more natural look on her is great, and I 100%. Like the darker hair was. I mean, yeah, I love it. But I fucking love her.
Andrew Dice Clay steals the movie though.
He's great as her
He's
dad.
a fucking beast.
Yeah, he looks
He's
good
great.
too.
He does. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's not Andrew Dice Clay.
Not at all. He's
you
an
didn't even
Italian
realize it
dad.
was him for the first like
Not
minute.
till you said it.
Yeah, because I was looking at him and I'm like, because he has completely like gray hair.
No glasses.
Looks like he's aged amazing.
Clean.
Yes. And it was a good minute and a half of him like on the screen. And I was like, holy shit, that's Andrew Dice Clay. Because he's not like, hey, yo. But yes, I recommend it. She sings a lot in it and I fucking love it.
I mean, it is.
She's nominated for an Oscar and well deserved.
Fuck, man. But if you want to see what the stereotypical rock star life is like for like a drug addict, so this will show the ugly side of the shit.
Yeah, it's looks pretty accurate. I mean,
I just felt like it dragged on a little bit. Like, I mean, maybe it's because I know the story already, so I was just
I can see that.
It
There's
probably
definitely
is because I was just like, I know it's fucking coming.
It was almost. It's 2 hours and 6. It could have been an hour and a half
easily, and I would have given it. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up and telling everyone to watch it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to win a shitload of awards, and
of course it will. Yeah,
it should.
Yeah.
But fuck, they could have shortened it.
They could have
gotten. Let's get it on.
Yep.
Sam Elliott's also he's good in fucking everything.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
He's the only guy in the world that I think people say he's sexy, and who cares what he looks like.
Oh yeah.
Just listen to his voice, and you'd be like.
And no matter how old he gets,
he gets a little better as he gets older.
Still sexy. Yeah, I mean, he's cool as ice. Like he's never. Yeah. He's the man.
Shave that stash off though, and I think his power goes away. I've seen him without it in a movie, and
he should never pull a Tom Selleck and try to exist without that mustache.
Of course not.
When Tom Selleck did that, everybody was like, "What the fuck is that? Yeah. Your top lip is hideous."
Yeah, Magnum would never shave his mustache.
No, but Tom Selleck did at one point, and it was horrible. Bad decision.
Oh, believe me, yes. I know. But my favorite part of A Star Is Born is actually the beginning part. Like, when it drug on, like, the last third of it, I could do without until the end of all.
Right.
Like, all of her career part, I wish they would just leave that to the imagination. Like, know that she's discovered and she's going to be big. Like, you don't have to show the
every
SNL
piece of it.
parts and all this little shit.
Well,
it's on, like, I'd rather just imagine it.
It could have been shortened. It didn't need to be as long as it was. I think all of that was to really show, like, how he kept trying to, like,
he wanted to keep her not mainstream.
Exactly. And he was trying, like, he was trying in his own way, which was, he failed miserably, to be like, you know, trying to get her back to when she was like writing music that like meant something instead of writing music about like your ass looks good in those jeans kind of thing. Yeah. So, but he was a fucking drug addict, drunk, and would try to say it in like a nice, caring way, and not so much. But yeah, those parts did kind of. That's
where I thought he did the best acting job of the whole movie, though, is where he had that drunk conversation with her, and he was trying to just still be nice, but was meaner than fuck.
Like when she was in the bathtub?
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know what I did to make you just suck. No, right. Like, I wanted you to be as good as you are and that you could have been, but now you're ugly. No. You know, he said she was ugly. Like the way he's like, you're just ugly now. And he didn't mean it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's fucked up.
Yeah. He was just not.
And what he was trying to say is, I really wish you would have stayed with your moneymaker. Mm-hmm. For longevity and your creativity and your ability to write real music instead of this dog shit. Because they basically turn her into Britney Spears, which is fine for Britney Spears.
Well, they basically turn her into Lady Gaga.
No. They made her more Britney Spears, like Poppy, tell me about your butt.
Well,
Lady Gaga's kind of like.
Well, at the very end though, when she's like on the piano and shit, that reminded me of just like straight up Lady Gaga. Like,
I wish she would put out like a soul country record.
Oh yeah,
for real in real life because
Well,
she's so good.
The soundtrack of A Star Is Born is obviously the one song that's like the main song from this movie. Like gives me chills. Like the Shallows or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. I love it. And she's done like she did an album with like Tony Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's reaching too far. I mean, I get it.
I think it was like a
street cred. Like, yeah, you want to croon. I mean,
I think it was a Christmas album, but
trailer.
no, well, she did it. I don't think she did that, but
New York, New York.
But yes, I agree with you that she should do like a more soul country.
What's great is that's a real thing because that's how I looked at her in this whole movie. Like her wheelhouse was like a soulful country. That's a real, I think, wheelhouse that people can do now.
Anything is a wheelhouse. You can make up your
own.
Well,
country's so huge now.
Right. It is definitely.
People want to stick around, go country because those fans stick with your ass for life.
Look at Jessica Simpson and somebody else went from pop to.
Kelly Clarkson.
Thank you. Mandy Moore did not. I was thinking Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore just went straight acting.
She never has to work again after This Is Us. It's going to be on for another 5 years, and
as it should. So yeah.
We give
2 thumbs up. Okay, are you burping right into the microphone, sir?
Yeah. Did you hear about the lady on United Airlines that was fat shaming?
I don't know. I saw you watching some stupid fucking video where she was like, where she was in between 2 people.
Yeah, here's the thing. All right. For one, that's awful. First off. So everyone be clear and be prepared for what I'm about to say. That's awful no matter what.
Right. Are you going to say stop videoing fucking everything?
No. But you can't also be fat if you're fat shaming. She's fat. She just wasn't as fat as the 2 people that she was giving shit to.
Yeah.
And so you can't. You're fat. You can't say these other people are too fat. You're fat ass. And then say you eat salads. Like she was being mean as shit. And she was telling ladies, or the lady, I eat salads. You should eat salads. And you don't eat salads, bitch. You eat Whoppers. Your big ass, just because you're not as big.
Right.
Your big ass is no peach for anybody else that wants to sit next to you.
So the only argument she had was that she fit exactly in that seat. She wasn't spilling over like her.
She was
like
the my 2 people. Size, right? And then the other people were just very obese.
They were. She was squished in that middle seat.
And there's ways to handle that.
You don't fat shame the people. She was like, it was to me. Even just like peripherally watching it, you had it playing on your phone. It seemed fake as shit to me. Like it was like staged because she was very much like, she was too rude and blunt to be a normal human.
No, it's 100% real. She's been on Dr. Phil before as a nurse.
Huh?
Like back in
so she's like ago. Fake famous.
Probably thinks she's famous because she was on a Dr. Phil.
But
once.
She's flying in coach, and
so she's just a normal person.
Yeah.
And you know what? If the 2 people are too big, there's ways to handle that. Not how she did.
No.
And the thing is, karma gets you. The other passengers are the ones that got her ass kicked off.
So she got kicked off the plane.
Yeah, because when she tried to, finally a stewardess came.
Those videos are always like 20 fucking minutes
long. And
long.
the lady that was being verbally harassed for being too large finally said, ma'am, will you relocate this lady? So I'm not going to sit here and be belittled for my whole flight.
Yeah.
And then.
If I was her, I'd lean into it and be like, oh.
Well, then the lady's like, yes, please help me. I'm being squished. They're just so big.
Right, that's what I mean. It seems so like she was just so blunt about like she was like they're spilling over into my seat and I just can't get comfortable.
I like the big dude though.
He didn't say a fucking word.
He just sat there and smiled like I would do. I'd be like, this shit's great.
He sat there and smiled like fuck you, bitch. Like.
But when she got up,
take a fucking seat outside
other
the plane.
passengers are like, you know what, you're a rude bitch. Like, I mean, that's just they're right.
Yes, correct.
And
correct, United Airlines pass. Wait. This was United Airlines?
Yeah.
Wasn't United Airlines the ones that like dragged off that guy
The Chinese man.
Yeah.
Beat him. Yeah, but he exaggerated. He got his ass whooped. He should have. He was
a piece of shit too. But
he was fake. Oh,
he was like going limp like a 2-year-old, like
punching himself in the mouth and had barely a little blood on his lip. And it.
Yeah.
This woman should have gotten drug off.
Right.
Over the other guy.
Yeah.
Like, drag her off for real.
Yeah.
Beat her to death. Because she thinks she's better than someone else.
No.
And they're all obese. That you can't argue the obese. Like, argue something else. Like, these people are poorer than me. Like, do something that makes sense. But if you're fat, you can't call someone else fat in a mean way. Like, you can be like,
well, you know
we
what?
are 3 fatties squeezed into a row. Let's figure this out.
Exactly. Because you know what? If I was in that seat next to those two people, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. I mean, it would still be like, okay, y'all are kind of spilling over into my seat. I would still have room, though.
Mm-hmm.
She was so big that it was like, she exactly fits, like I was saying, in that seat. So there's no room for error on either side.
Yeah.
So, bitch, why don't you lose some weight, and then maybe it wouldn't be as big of a deal. And you could not be as much of a cunt.
They should all join Weight Watchers together. You can't, you know what? No. Just because she's not as, like, there's a threshold, and they're all fat. I hate to say that, keep saying that word, but all of them were big.
But there's no, you don't need to act like that. That is not acceptable.
I am awful on airlines. I feel miserable for the people next to me, and I don't spill over, but they're not going to get any armrest.
Well, usually we get you the aisle, which I don't know what's worse. If you're in the aisle, you at least can, like, kick your legs out in the aisle when, like, the cart isn't coming by. But then your elbows, your elbows, your feet, like, if you can't sit in the middle because you're, like, squinching your shoulders the whole time. And then if you're in the window, then for sure you're going to have to pee. A lot. So flying with you
is a disaster. Unless we get rich and I can fly, like, seats are, and they talked about it too, about this story too, is how much they've
gotten smaller.
They keep, to fit more asses.
Tell you
in the
what
plane.
though, that one time when I got bumped up to first class when we were coming back from Montana, that was my taste. I mean, I had to pay like $100 or whatever, but it was like the flight from Billings to Salt Lake City. I got a taste of first class. I could damn near lay sideways in that fucking chair. And I remember you boarded the plane after me. I'm on there already with a Bloody Mary and shit. You were like, I was like, bye. See you in Salt Lake City.
That's how you knew how much of a gentleman I was, that I didn't even try to persuade you to do the ethical thing and give me the seat. I never even tried, because that was a stupid argument. Most guys my size would have been like, come on, you're being stupid.
I didn't even think about it because I didn't know how much bigger the seats were. And I had paid like $100, $200 or whatever because I had missed my flight or something.
All of those reasons were fair, and you shouldn't suffer.
I am just inconsiderate is what you're saying.
No, I'm considerate. But I'm like, shit, that's fair and square. I can suffer for a few hours.
It was a 2-hour flight. Like, it was dumb, but it was a nice taste. And so I literally was like, the next time we go out west, we need to be rich so you can fly first, because it's brutal to go out west, because that's like a 4-hour flight to go to Vegas, like a nonstop flight out west, because it's from Atlanta to Vegas is 4 hours. I don't know, I don't remember what Salt Lake to Atlanta was it 4 hours too?
I don't know.
It was like 3, I think.
Denver, I can make. That's about as far as I can fly.
But first class is a world of difference. You would be chilling. It's like flying in that recliner that's in our living room, but wider even.
I'm totally down. I mean, all we got to do is actually prepare and buy in advance enough too, to where it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a long time.
Still, not good for flying. But I'm also not going to be calling.
Never,
other people big and
no.
Yeah.
But I dare somebody to say that to you on a plane, I'll fucking cut them.
I would just say you're stupid.
Yeah, and I would get them kicked off the plane and get them hit in the face.
I would just lay on
bricks.
them. I would just be like, "Come on, stop."
I'm like,
weird.
Weird.
Come here.
Like
Come here.
Lean
Bring
over
it-
even more. Let's snuggle.
Bring it in. You smell delicious. Come here.
Or like, because you fall asleep on the plane as always.
Oh, if it was that lady, I'd
No.
be like, come here with your fat ass. You fat
Can
ass.
I use you as a pillow?
You fat motherfucker. Come here.
Oh my
Come here.
gosh.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
lesson in this, don't be fat and call other people fat.
Yeah.
Don't call anyone fat anyway, but don't be fat and call people fat.
Right. That's our public service announcement.
Yeah. Other one, I found this horrible story.
Uh-huh.
It just tells you the state of our people
Uh-huh.
as humans. That a woman is marrying her blanket
I'm sorry, what?
in real life. She's marrying her blanket.
That's just that's the stupidest shit ever. I've heard of shit like that where like people marry their house plants or like marry a tree or something.
Yeah.
It's not fucking real.
A woman married a 6-foot model of a Boeing 747. And she like licks the thing and
She needs to be
cuddles with it.
locked away and evaluated.
I mean, I've seen it. There's men and women with this weird, where they have this love
It's
for
a-
objects.
There's a name for it. Oh, fuck me. It's when you fall in love with inanimate objects. God damn it.
Yeah, there's a dude that loves his car so much he fucks its tailpipe.
What
Like, for
the
real.
fuck?
And you know, whatever, man. If you want to go fuck your tailpipe,
I guess that's better than going and like murdering people. or
I don't
something.
care. But I think anybody marry whoever fuck you want, whatever you want. I'm not gonna pretend it's not funny though.
Right.
But everyone should be able to marry. If I want to marry that fucking pin,
There's there's pages upon pages of this. Oh, wait. Object sexuality? Really? It's that simple? Object sexuality. Objectophilia. Objectophilia. The
you're
form
a
of
puss.
what?
I'm
I hate it.
I hate it more than you, and I'm actually drinking my French turd martini.
10 people who fell in love with inanimate objects. Is an
There's
article.
way more than that.
It's an article from 2014.
Oh.
Objectophilia or what? Oh, there's a very specific one. When you fall in love, a sexual attraction to a statue, doll, or mannequin is oh fuck 'em.
I prefer the mannequin. There's a
Agal-
good movie about it.
Agalmatophilia. Agalmatophilia.
If you don't like the movie Mannequin, fuck you.
Is mannequin same chick that's in
It's the same dude that's in St. Elmo's
no,
Fire.
no, I know that.
Weekend at
John
Bernie's. Andrew something.
yeah. But the girl, is it the one that's in Big
Weird
Trouble in Little
Science.
China and
Kim Cattrall, yes.
Is it
Yeah,
Kim
I think
Cattrall?
so. I
Okay.
think you're right.
Yeah, so objectophilia or agalmatophilia for mannequins and statues.
I prefer that. If you're gonna go with one of
At
these,
least
go
it
with the
looks like
mannequin.
another person, but
Because there's sex dolls now that people fuck to death and love.
oh
So,
yeah, I mean
whatever.
people can get. I mean,
But when you marry your damn spatula,
it is Kim Cattrall, Andrew McCarthy, and Kim Cattrall.
told you, Andrew.
I told you, Kim.
Well, I told you, Kim, because you were like, "What's her name?"
I knew who it was. So.
I'm winning in the movies tonight.
Shut up.
Robert Redford, Kathy.
God,
Kathy.
you failed me, Kathy. By the way, I think Walking Dead starts back this Sunday. Suck me.
Well, more important than that, or equally as important,
What is more important than
is
that?
that there's been a whole pretty good season of Celebrity Big Brother going on.
Yes.
It's surprisingly good.
Yes.
Tom Green is a surprising beast.
Yes, I think we talked about it on one of our last maybe.
I don't think we've talked about
Have we not?
Celebrity Big Brother at all.
I don't know.
I'm a fan this season. I thought last season's Celebrity season sucked my dick, and then this
Mhm.
one is surprisingly good because
It is good.
Tom Green is a... Who knew he was a physical
I know.
beast?
He's good at competitions. Kato just got voted off last night.
Kato, come out of the closet.
Yeah. No, we did talk about it because I remember we were talking about how it was like right after the season premiere of it, how they were like, oh, did you hear OJ's coming on?
Oh shit, you're right.
And he was like, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
What? Yeah, him and Tom are BFFs.
I like Tom Green way more now. He used to
for
exhaust
sure.
me.
For sure. He the stuff that he does, the silly, quirky stuff he does in the house is shit that I live with every day being married to Randall Fowler. Like, just singing about things.
It's the stupidest thing. Nothing. His
Like,
song about making coffee was great.
it was perfect. It was a almost carbon copy of things that you sing about, or except you don't drink coffee, but like insert toast or like whatever. Like, you know, and some din-dins in there.
Yeah.
Because all your singing is usually directed at the din-din.
He's
Yeah, so he's funny. It's all his little quirkiness that was like super over the top, like early 2000s is, I mean, obviously it was always for show, but it was like, oh my god.
But it's refreshing to see that when everyone assumes that, and you hope that when you meet these over the top people, but when you see them outside of their element,
you say din-din. He came in here.
And you can confirm that they're not that exhausting, it is always so good. Because Robin Williams, I think he's always was on. And that was part of his illness.
Part of his demons, yeah. Like it.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is, yeah, Jim Carrey reminds me a lot of like Robin Williams in that regard. Like, you just see the like anxiety like behind his eyes of like, I have got to be funny all the fucking time. I don't want anybody to see who I really am. And it's sad, but like, I mean, you see Jim Carrey like in some interviews where he's kind of like calmer and like letting his guard down a little bit, but then he always has to like turn it up for like.
Well, it's one
at some point.
It's an extreme or the other.
Yeah, it is.
There's not a wheelhouse.
Very true.
He's either subdued and looks like he's on Quaaludes, or he's.
Hi, buddy.
Had 100 pounds of the good bugga sugar.
Hold, please. All right.
Well, I just got confirmation.
What?
About Richard Tillman.
What?
We will be recording with him Sunday night. That doesn't mean it'll be posted then, by any means, but he's good to record this Sunday night.
Wow, that was way sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
Sunday, we have Griffin this weekend, so I'm gonna.
You'll be fine. You'll be back. I'll have you fed.
Okay.
And you'll shut the fuck up.
Actually, I prefer Sundays over during the week.
I actually do too.
Because it's,
for some reason,
even though it's like a school night and work night, we haven't been at work all day.
No, we've chilled most of the day.
Yes, so
for sure for me.
Because I was gonna tell you, like, I mean, even though we haven't really been on a regular schedule, like, I was gonna see if we could even move like Rachel's normal shit to Sundays.
I prefer Sunday, so I'm all about it. If you,
I am.
Want to make that regular. It's better than after a bitch of a Monday.
And then like I usually go to the gym on Monday nights, and it's always like.
Yeah, so see, you were gonna talk some shit and realized that you like the shit.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, from taking Griffin back to Alabama, but usually I'm home by like 6, and then like we're chilling.
You're not tired mentally after that. Like, that's kind of a zone out time.
It's kind of a break.
Yeah.
From like.
Especially for you, from hearing the word mommy.
Yeah, I don't.
You usually come back with a pep in your step.
Does that make me a terrible person?
No, but I mean, I go and I get back from that drive and I'm injured.
No, you're not. Not anymore as much.
My back or my neck. No, I know, not as much. And I'm exaggerating, but you come back, you're like, oh, yes. Like a spa day.
Nice, relax. I got to
Dinner's ready for you.
Yeah. I just got to sit and not.
And listen to a podcast or an audiobook.
Yep. Not talk, not hear.
Because he's going to sleep.
Mommy. Griffin sleeps 90% of the time.
Or eat chicken tenders. He's gonna sleep, eat crispy crunchy chicken.
Well, no, we never get crispy crunchy chicken anymore because I always go the back way.
Yeah.
Because it's faster. And it's not through Chattanooga, which is fucking the worst.
Always a crapshoot.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so that's fantastic. We do have it confirmed with Richard. So everybody can shut their shit. Relax. I don't know what the big deal is about
son.
Richard Tillman, other than he's a handsome
Other than
bastard.
he's our guest of the year and Randall's brother. What is that? The 10th.
Yeah. I give it up to old, that's my best friend again. Sorry. See, he's such a good dad. He's saying, hey, because I was talking about what time's good for him. He's like, I'm finishing up homework with the kids. I'll get right back to you.
Oh, he's so cute.
But old Warren is closing the gap also.
Another great.
He's another possible best friend.
He is. What was funny is that I was in a meeting with Amanda today. Like, we were working on some stuff in a conference room together, and like my phone just kept going off, and I was like, I know it's this guy Warren that's messaging Randall through Instagram, because like anytime it's like message like back to back because Warren kind of messages like he texts. You know, like when you text, you like you hit send for every thought.
Yep.
You know, which is fine, but it like I'm like, I know when my Instagram messages start going off like that, it's Warren and Randall messaging each other.
Yep. No, he's awesome. He's
about knives.
He's super cool. Yeah, he's helped me a shitload with that. And
I'm surprised y'all haven't met up to like do whatever.
We will soon.
Because he lives right around the corner, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's got way, way better artistic skills than me.
Oh, really?
By 1,000. His knives are fucking beautiful. But I forge more from nothing, where I actually beat the shit out of it and form it. He does more of, he'll get a block of steel, cut it, grind it all, which is still a lot of work, but I do where I actually put it in a fire when it's a...
He got a forge.
Yeah, no, he has done it, and he's good at it, but he prefers it's called stock removal method, where you're removing material.
Sexy.
But I need to learn how to do handles better from him. Like, he's way better, but...
I thought you said you weren't going to do it as much anymore.
I've conquered forging.
Yeah.
I may start doing the restock.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Stock removal.
Okay.
Because I don't have to destroy my arm, but...
It's the hammering?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, well, I mean, I've watched enough episodes of Forge and Fire now with you.
Fire for 30 straight minutes, and you burn. My fingertips have never been so calloused. My, palms
I was about to say from
been,
weightlifting.
Oh,
gotcha. Yeah.
Plus, I'm tired of mechanic hands. Got them in the cracks.
I see. Yeah, your hands are stained, and I know you've showered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am surprised, but not really surprised at how much Gunner is obsessed with that show now.
That little shit knows his... Tonight, when I showed him this one, I'm pointing to the one I just did. You guys probably seen it on Facebook or Instagram. It's a Viking sax. Okay. And it's my knife. The other ones I made one for Gunner. One I'm giving
this
to Griffin.
Handle is...
I know, I made that from nothing.
What? I mean, like you can see like a knot in the wood. Like it was. What wood was this from?
I sanded it for hours. It's oak.
So what did he say about it?
He said, "Ooh, I love it." Then he does a look over like the judges on floor. He was like, "Ooh, the edge looks sharp. It's got a good point." And then he said, "You need to put a guard on it." Like he actually said that, which is a hand guard.
I heard him say that.
Which is a huge. That's no shit to keep the hand from sliding up to the blade when you're chopping.
You do need a guard.
It does need a guard. I was like, "That is well done, son."
Yeah,
well done. He knows his little shit.
He pays attention to that show more than I've seen him pay attention to many things. I mean, it's. Yeah, because
Forged and Fire is the show. Did you say that?
I don't know if I said it, but yes, Forged and Fire. He calls
Great
it.
Show.
He says Bladesmiths. He wants to watch Bladesmiths, and he does an impression of the host, or he'll say, "Bladesmiths, you have 10 minutes to finish your blades," and it's the cutest thing.
All he wants to do is make one.
I know.
He wants to get in the fire.
Well, right when we walked in the door this afternoon, the little one that you made him was sitting down there, and he went and picked it up, but he grabbed it, but and I was kind of like, but he grabbed it
he knows to grab the handle.
Very safely, and was like, Daddy said if I was good at school, I could chop these bricks.
Yeah, he wants to test it against
he wants to do
brick chop.
Sharpness test or strength test.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were doing that this weekend, that was the cutest ever when we went outside and you were testing him on sticks, and he was like, "Let's do a log chop." But it was on sticks, and he said, "I need to go make my decision."
Yeah, you need to leave the forge for a minute. And he said, "I need to decide who has to leave the forge."
Yes.
He knows his shit about that show. And the guard thing was a
That's impressive.
super good point.
Yes.
That knife needs a guard super bad.
It does, absolutely. My hand would get sliced to ribbons if I tried to chop anything with it.
I'm not going to go out chopping shit.
No.
That's why it doesn't have one. But if it were like to compete on that show, that would get disqualified for no guard. So he knows what he's talking about.
He does.
It is impressive. He can retain whatever the fuck he wants when he wants.
That's exactly right. It's when he wants to.
Because if someone needed a summation on what the show Forged and Fire is about, but if you call it Bladesmith so he knows, he would give you a A+ book report on it.
For sure he would.
How they test knives.
Yes.
What they're looking for in it. What your blade still needs to be.
He knows about this strength test. Like, I even was trying to think of, because I know the kill test and the other one.
Strength and sharpness.
Strength and sharpness. But I kind of was forgetting what one of them was. And he was like, Mom, it's the strength test and the sharpness test. I was like, thanks, baby. Yep. You're 5.
Oh, yeah, he knows it.
He loves it. He cannot get enough of it. There was some on DVR this weekend that we watched the same episode 3 times, and he was just
because it was all that was left.
Right.
Now there's a whole new because of the episode premieres tonight, so they've run a marathon.
Good.
And there's tons, but he'll
watch them over and over and over, and he loves the guy that says it will kill, it will cut.
Doug Machado.
Yes, he was calling him the black guy because he's in all black clothes.
Yeah, he has a black shirt.
I was like, I'm sorry, what? He was like, the guy that says it will kill. I was like, oh, he wears all black because he doesn't know.
Of course, he doesn't know.
But I was like, oh, I love you so much.
But no, I only wanted to forge knives to where I forged one for both the boys and for me. Mm-hmm. Just
that one's very pretty.
By
I like
forging
it.
them, I mean, those knives will last forever.
This looks like what we would use to cut vegetables.
You could easily cut a tree. I went and chopped a tree to test it.
It's
today.
heavy though.
A small tree. Compare the spine of that tar. That we could chop fingers and arms off with.
God, yes. No, it's. Yeah.
I've just got to stain the handle and finish sanding it.
Super sharp. You did a great job.
So I'm retiring from. My main objective was just to get the boys a knife that they can have forever. Gunner's little knife is the jam. It's a little Skinner knife. And
it looks like a little baby version of that one.
And it'll be good for years to come. The only thing that could break is the handle, and he could replace that. Yep. Because clearly he's going to be a blacksmith.
Obviously, it's on his journey somewhere.
Yeah, did you hear about that little kid that was 3 and survived in the woods for 2 days?
What?
Yeah, left his grandma's house and was out in the woods for 2 days in the cold and lived.
2 days in the cold, and where? What state?
I don't remember. It was a cold state, and he lived for 2 days.
Every single one of those other stories. Any other time you hear that story, it ends horribly.
Yeah, this kid lived.
Like this. Yeah. Oh my God.
They thought it. I mean, everyone was shocked. The thing that kept him alive is he had a coat on, but he got out from. He escaped from his grandma or great grandma.
Escaped.
Just snuck out the door. She didn't catch it. She was watching.
It's my nightmare. It's my nightmare.
It is. It's everyone's nightmare.
It's happened so many times. I can't even count how many times I've seen it on the news where it's literally the kid just gets up in the middle of the night and it might start off that they're kind of sleepwalking, but they just walk out the front door. Well,
that's why you gotta super child-proof those shits if you can in your front or back doors. Yeah. I mean, it's scary as shit until you think they're old enough to at least know the difference of I'm cold.
Right.
Like when they get to be 5, 6, they'll at least be like, I'm freezing before they get too far away.
Usually they
2 or 3
they should open the door and be like, I'm cold, but
2 or 3 they're not gonna know.
No, it's terrifying.
But what's crazier is the kid, when they found him, he keeps telling the authorities that found him that he has a bear friend that kept him alive.
What? I could totally see that. It sounds like a Disney movie. I could totally see a bear not seeing a child as a threat and maybe just kind of checking him out and trying to protect him like a baby because he's a baby.
Possibly. But everybody's like, oh, no, it's just because he watched something before.
I want it to be real. I want it to be real.
Whatever it was, if you don't believe in some sort of a God, you're crazy for that that kid survived for 2 days.
It was
in the
not
wild.
his time. I don't ever see the reason why it is any other child's time when that shit happens, but
100%. But there was some intervention in that kid.
I want to
surviving
believe it
for
was
2
a bear,
days.
that a bear was even a bear was like, this is a baby and I need to protect it.
I mean, the bear could be totally made up, but it's fun to think about that. What if there's just some bears
Or
that
it could
come
have
there?
been like a dead bear or like a dead animal, like in Star Wars.
Could have been hallucinating. The
Yeah.
kid was gone for 2 days, but
Bless him.
whatever it was, he stayed alive. They said it's because he had a jacket
Yeah.
for some reason. So the kid clearly got up, put his jacket on,
Oh,
put his cigarette out, and told Granny bye.
I have, I mean, I don't know how many times I've told Gunnar, and he started doing it naturally, that when he wakes up, 9 times out of 10, he comes straight to our room. And I tell him to do that on purpose.
We both have.
On purpose, because I don't want him wandering about. There's been like twice that I've woken up and he's been out sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Still fine. But makes me nervous that, like, what if he was kind of like sleepwalking or whatever. But I don't know.
Once he got close to 5, I mean, I still hate it.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad once he got to be close to 5.
Yeah. And
I still hate it, and it's terrible, and I don't want him to ever go out. But at 5, I feel like he would either ring the doorbell to death,
right,
kick the door down, cry out the window, where he's not just going to wander off.
But if he got out, like, he'd be able to get back in.
Also that. But a 2 or
The door
3-year-old
obviously
is
wouldn't-
just going to walk toward the creek
Oh my God.
and not know.
No.
Disastrous.
Well, at 2 and 3 years old, this is how psycho of a mom I am. 2 and 3 years old, Gunnar couldn't get out of his room.
I know.
Yeah, that we had the childproof lock on the inside of his room to prevent that exact thing from happening.
Well, and because I knew I could run through that door. Our doors are paper
we could get in it. He couldn't get out.
If it was a fire, I could run through the door.
Of course,
our doors are wafer thin.
They are from 1972 when this house was built, and
I can put my finger through them. But yes.
Because I'm not gonna. Nope.
No,
I didn't want him out here climbing on shit. And for one, now he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna go and watch TV.
Biggest thing was to somehow get out of the
house. That's not, and like, it's very unlikely because all of our rooms are right next to each other. When he was that old too, the monitor was on at all times. Now,
full blast.
Right. Now I don't even turn it on unless I need to see in his room for something. But because he's 5, it's probably almost time that I need to take that out. But
well, this leads to the
last thing.
The only listener question I want to cover. We had 5, and I don't know how long we've been going, but I don't want to do 5.
No, we need to be done after this.
Tell me about a time that you saw a ghost.
Okay.
Because I've heard you both say that you believe in ghosts.
That's a great question. It's not really a question.
Well, it's a question because that bear.
Okay.
Like people are saying whether or not that's real or not.
Maybe it was some kind of like guardian angel or something.
Or fake or.
So I'll go first with the ghost thing because I have some pretty vivid memories of when I lived in our house in Memphis. And there was a couple times. So there was a couple times where I would wake up. I had a pretty sweet bedroom in our house in Memphis. I had like a window seat, and then I had like an armchair that was like near the window seat, but it was like when I was laying on my bed, I could be like looking at that. So there was a couple times when I would wake up kind of half asleep. This is always usually when you see shit, is when you're like half asleep, like in between awake and asleep. There was a couple times where I could see somebody sitting in that chair, like couldn't tell if it was a woman, man, whatever, but like a white outline of somebody sitting in that chair. Also, a couple times in that house where it was like, like a long hallway, kind of like ours, and my bedroom was like right where like our bathroom would be. So the hallway was like, you'd be walking down the hallway past my bedroom. There was at least one time where I saw my bedroom door was open and I was kind of waking up and I saw somebody just walking by, but it was like my parents weren't home or like they were still asleep or something, but it was like I knew it wasn't them, and it was like you couldn't hear footsteps or anything. It was just somebody was walking by, and it for sure wasn't my parents or my sisters, but yeah, that was it. I mean, that house had a lot of like
Well, so does that
presence in
did
it,
that
I guess.
scare you, or
No.
are you cool with that?
Totally cool with it. I've always like, I mean, it's a little bit jarring. Like, holy shit. Especially because I was like 13, 14-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I still was super cool with it then. And there was like all these rumors that like our neighborhood was built on some kind of old something, which I think that I let that get in my head. But no, it didn't scare. It wasn't like a scary. It was just like, oh, okay. It felt like.
I don't think ghosts scare either one of us.
No, I joke all the time that our house that we live in currently is haunted.
I hope it is.
It's for sure an old house that most of the things I blame on our ghost are just because it's uneven.
And I don't think it's necessarily just like ghosts that had to live here. The way I choose to believe is it could be anyone that's passed in our lives that's just come by to say what's up.
Which my mom has said she's seen her parents, like when she's waking up in the middle of like waking up, she's seen her parents' faces right there.
Weird. That's a little much.
Right. Like they're sitting on the bed kind of looking at her.
A little too close. Get out of the personal space. Parents, like, can you watch from the other side of the room or something? Like,
well, but then she wouldn't have seen him.
She would see them if they're 10 feet away in the recliner instead of on top of their face. But maybe they want a good look.
That was just her story, babe. I don't know.
Well, she's lying. Ghosts don't get that close.
I mean, of course, that didn't scare her because it's her parents. But yeah, the ones I saw, I don't know. It could have been maybe one of my grandparents because at that point, both my dad's parents were gone. So, but I wasn't really close with it. It very well could have been one of them.
Well, I mean, you know my Papa George story.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there.
Yeah.
And he was, my Papa George, he died, 3 or 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
It was October 3 years ago?
It was 3 years ago. But Papa George was awesome. He's the best dude ever.
He had a big part in raising you, Papa George,
and nanny.
And your nanny, yeah.
And
he's very important in your life.
I've always done a garden just because he loved his huge garden. Like, it was just part of growing up living with him that, we always tended to the garden, and he grew everything he ate. And the best.
That's why we try
green beans and
do that.
Corn. Yeah, it's really like just keeping on with that tradition. But I don't know. It's probably it was the year he died, 3 years ago.
It was the year he died. Yeah, he died in October, and then it was
blazing hot.
It was that summer after he passed away that you had your experience.
Yeah, because I had been out, tended to the garden, and was cutting the grass.
Hot.
It was 1,000,000 degrees. And I was almost done, and the garden is on one side of our back patio deck. I was cutting the other side, finishing up, and I remember I was super dehydrated. I was like, I need water. But I was toward the end, so I was, nothing dangerous. I was just like, for fuck's sake, I've sweated out 10 pounds. I need to get in and chug water.
And it's Georgia in the summer and humid. And
I look over, and I see in perfect clarity Papa George walking the length of our garden, which wasn't big. It was just a little, we had like 4 vegetables.
It was like a 6x6.
Yeah. But he was just walking it like he would do his garden, because he would just walk and admire his garden.
Right.
Like walk the lengths, have a chew, and make sure everything was coming in right. He was just walking the length of it, and he was in the health that he was when I was a kid.
Right.
Still an older grandpa.
But he was a strapping man.
He was a robust 65 and still working, and he had on his jacket that he always wore back then.
Yeah.
And it just looked exactly like when I was a kid, not like he looked when he was sick. But he was just looking at the garden like he did his, and I remember I was like, I'm about to pass out. Like, this is total bullshit. I'm just about to pass the fuck out from heat. And I come inside and I'm like, do I even tell Brooke about that? Because I think I'm crazy. And I think I was just
it was just so
dehydrated.
fresh on your mind, too. You were like, no, it's real.
I'm going to tell you. And I told you, and just because of the way you reacted, where you were like, shit, that shit's real.
Uh-huh.
I was like, all right, well, then I'm not crazy.
I was like, he's here just checking out your garden, man.
Well, I mean, he was gone. He just looked at it and was...
Right, but I mean...
Well, no, and that garden was a thing that any of the people in our family know. That's kind of like a connected thing, you know, like he loved his garden.
It makes sense if that's where he would show up.
Exactly. Totally makes sense to me that he would just be like, you know, I want to see what you got. Have you done this shit
and
right?
We even were calling it like, you know, we were like, it's Papa George
Memorial Garden.
Garden.
And I haven't seen him since, but if you could see someone that's dead as clear as that, then, I mean, it was fucking like he was standing there.
Yeah.
So it could have been a mixture of all of that.
No, I remember when you told me, I like got chills and I was like, yes, it was him. Like, you're not dying.
Well, I wasn't scared. Like, I wasn't like, oh God, this is freaking me out. I was like, cool.
Well, of course you wouldn't be scared. Shit. It's your Papa George.
Well, I know, but a lot of people are just freaked out by the idea. And neither one of us are. Like, I'm like, dude, pull up a seat.
Not at all. Yeah. Like, come hang. Even if it wasn't anybody I know, like, I'm not going to automatically assume that, like, anything is here to hurt us.
Yeah, but the only thing the biggest thing that makes me think it's real is Papa George was not a man of like a whole lot of words. Mm-mm. That's exactly how he would do it. It would be for something like, it wouldn't be like he would be standing at the sink or in the living room.
He wouldn't have been staring at your face when you wake up.
No, he would go check out if the garden was worth
in my
shit.
Family, my mom will be staring at my face.
And that doesn't surprise me for Barb's family.
No, and that's totally fine. But it's perfect. It's exactly how he would come and check on you, by checking on your garden. I mean, we knew he loved us because of his actions, not because of his words.
Well, no, he wasn't a man of a lot of words.
He didn't say much, but he was the best. I love Papa George.
But so there you go. Those are...
Yeah, that was a good one.
Our ghost stories.
Even though I don't know who mine are. But I like that question, whoever sent that, because I love talking about that shit. And now people are like, you're fucking crazy.
Well, they're lying because they talk about it all the time. They just don't want to admit it. We're just not scared of it. It doesn't bother us. I want them to be real. So all of them. I want to believe there's something else going. There has to be somewhere that the fucking energy is going. I mean, energy doesn't stop.
I know. I want to believe it. And you know what? If it's not real,
fuck you.
It doesn't matter. Because then when we die, if we find out it's not real, it doesn't matter because there's nothing, like there's no consequence.
Nope.
It's why it doesn't harm anything to believe in things like that and expand your imagination.
No, but I mean, for me, I just don't see how I could have hallucinated him
that clearly.
And for him to have come to exactly where he would come. Right. And if I was hallucinating, it would be like he was before he died, not how he was when I was 10.
Right.
Which is when he was at the peak, his robustness of Papa George. So, I don't know. I think it's real.
Yeah.
And if y'all don't, fuck you. That's my Papa George.
Yeah. When I remember you called Donna and everybody and told them.
After I talked to you.
Yeah.
First, to make sure that I wasn't crazy and that you agreed I should tell them.
And they didn't think you were crazy either.
No, God, no.
They were like, yeah.
My family firmly believes it. They all think grandmother haunted Nanny's house until Nanny passed away. They swore she did.
She's probably still there, fucking with those people that bought the house.
I don't know.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
If there's a heaven and Nanny and Papa George are together, grandmother is invading their space because grandmother lived in their house their whole life. So she just met up with them and is like, I'm going to stay right here.
But now they have Papa George's mom, too.
Oh, yeah. All of his family.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll...
Yep.
We'll get the fuck out of here. Next time y'all hear from us, you'll be hearing us talk to Miller.
And then after that, Tom McFeely.
Yep.
While we're in Disney. Hey.
Unless we record with Richard and decide to slide him on in. You never know with us.
We're gonna. Oh my God, baby.
It might just happen.
We're recording with Richard this Sunday, but we're not gonna post it until after Disney. Don't make that noise. Sounded like you were deep throating the microphone. All right, we're out.
All right, well, we'll holler at you dick suckers later.
Bye.
Fuck you.